2, 1. Bam!
Damn, bro.
There it is. You like how I skipped out on the number 3 today?
I know, right? Every episode is one less number now.
One day, I'm not even going to count it down.
I know, right? One day, it'll just be, here we go, now it's episode 4, you know?
Episode 4, dude, already?
I know, right? That's crazy. Episode 4
It
of
seems
the
like,
podcast.
Yeah, dude, it seems like just a couple days ago we were just like, yo, you want to start building an empire?
Dude, an empire is what it is. Literally, less than, maybe it hasn't been a week, maybe a week ago is when we started Grandma's Grapevine. Where you're listening to this right now, and now...
Should we, for like the new people, since it is only episode 4,
dude,
who knows, maybe you're coming over from Grandma's Garage, you already know the names, but hey, for all those new people out there listening, you got your boy out here, Winston Krantz.
And I am Nice Ben.
Nice Ben he is.
Yes, I am.
And
Here
today,
we are.
guys, we're coming at you with a hot topic off the charts, alright?
Oh, man. Right off the bat, right, guys?
North Korea, dude.
Ooh.
Yo, this topic, honestly, sometimes we talk about things to where I just really don't give a shit about.
Yeah?
But today, dude, it's like North Korea. Are you kidding me? They've always been in the talks for a couple like years now. At some point, it seems
what's his name? Jim Kun Yoon?
Jim Now Pao.
Jim Kun Yoon?
Xiao Now Fao.
I don't know. It's some weird name, but come on, North Korea dictator?
Bro, we got
like,
dictators
what?
out there
What?
who are running villages or towns. I don't know what they go by. No Americans are allowed there unless with special supervision. But, you know, no one really knows the story behind North Korea.
No,
it's always
yeah.
about, like, yo, these guys are lying to your faces. These guys, they just want to see the American people crushed. They want to see death amongst us.
No, yeah, and this is a big topic today because North Korea, as you know, has been doing a lot of missile tests, just sending them into the water, seeing how far they can send their missiles in case they nuke us. And literally, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, the U.S. responded with their own missile tests.
Is that what happened, dude? Because honestly, I'm so used to North Korea doing these little presentations for the American people to say, oh my gosh, like these guys mean some serious business. So Ben, like, what is going on with this? So you said that there's U.S. citizens sending, or not citizens, but I guess U.S. military sending missiles.
No, yeah, bro.
But North Korea started it.
No, yeah, North Korea, over, honestly, the past year, maybe even further than that, they've been testing missile systems to see how far they can send them, anything like that. And, of course, they hate America. North Koreans hate America. They think we're the devils.
Why?
Even Jim Kun Un, or whatever the dictator's name is, say we are evil. We are the devils.
I don't get that, though. I mean, it might be because there's misinterpretation amongst the people, but let me tell you guys, Americans are pretty chill.
No, he tells people that, like, we're the devils, you know? Probably because of our freedom. Probably because we can do whatever we want.
Yo, straight up, we have no one stopping us from talking shit about North Korea. And I mean, I guess that is pretty much free, but if you were in North Korea and you tried to do the same exact thing,
you'd probably get killed.
You would be, what's a good word? Exterminated?
Prosecuted? No, that's law. Persecuted.
Prosecuted. You'd be fucked, basically.
Yeah, they would definitely kill you under the covers, you know?
Without like maybe some torturing, and then they might kill you if you're lucky.
Oh, bro, that'd be so messed up. But anyways, North Korea, they've been doing all these tests, and lately, the U.S. has responded with their own tests. Of course, they say it's not related to North Korean issues, but you know it's related. Come on. They're sending it as far as they can towards the Pacific and beyond. It's like, come on. Of course, they're trying to see if North Korea attacks that they can respond in the right way.
I mean, I would sure hope so, because America, I mean, we're known for being top dog. Our military defense it's the best in the world, honestly. No one fucks with America.
For real. Like, what the hell? What is North Korea thinking? Thinking they can, like, even fuck with America at all? Like, how do they not know that we're gonna destroy them? Literally obliterate them if they even try anything.
Well, I don't understand, because I've heard back when, like, in years ago they were doing the same test missile. Everyone's always been
exactly,
nervous.
yeah.
Everyone's always, what's up with all this tests? Why don't they just get some balls and just fucking pull the trigger, baby? Let's get some action going on here.
They probably like to do a lot of tests to know that, say, they hit America with a missile, right?
Yeah.
We respond with another missile. They want to see if their next missile will do the same damage, you know?
Okay, so now when they're firing these, like, blank missiles, are they blank? Or so that's my question. So are they test missiles, and when they hit the ocean there's no explosion, there's no
explosion,
damage?
Definitely.
So it's just trying to see for how far it can go.
Yeah, dude, it's like the blasters on the missile, you know? Like
to see like how far the rockets will take it?
Yeah, because North Korea and America are so far away.
It's on the other side of the world.
Exactly.
Unless I'm wrong, I don't know, but I think it's on the other side.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're near Japan area. Like,
is that
on the other side of Europe? You know, if like we go right, then like we'll hit like Asia and then Europe, where like the Russian area is, and then if you go even farther, there's China and then North Korea on the coast.
So we're basically playing patty cake with missiles at this point.
Yeah. So then if you keep going further, like past North Korea, then there's all this Pacific Ocean, and then you'll eventually hit America. That's why like North Korea keeps sending missiles our way to see how far they can go, you know, because the closest thing to North Korea is us.
That's true.
Yeah, it's like they're testing all these missiles to see if they can reach us because, bro, they're haters, man.
Bro, they're hating I don't even think they hate America. I think they hate us.
Yeah, right.
I think we've just been so much of a scene. We've been so much of a nuisance, smashing things in this garage. North Korea just hates Winston Prince, your boy Nice Ben. It's like, what did we do to you, Kim Jong-Smith? Yeah?
Yeah, right. It's like the dictator sees a Jake Paul vlog. It's like, bro, we need to bomb them. We need to bomb them now. It's like Jake Paul dab on the haters, right? That's all he's saying to Kim Jong-un. I think that's his name, Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. The only information I've known is from like the interview with Seth Rogen and James Franco.
Yeah, right. That movie.
Bro, that movie was so good.
Dude, I remember that the dictator, he was threatening to bomb us if they played that in theaters.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
So literally the U.S. government banned that from becoming in theaters. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember like there was like some death threats or
some
back to the bomb threats. They were like,
exactly.
Yo, you are mocking our leader. This is wrong.
Man.
And to them, I don't know much about the subject, but from the movie, they really made it seem like a shit show.
No, for real, bro.
And I'm assuming that's how it actually is in real life.
Yeah,
like people are. I've seen a documentary before when I was young though, so I don't remember all the facts, but I do remember that they would let starving children pick the rice grains. I'm not talking rice bowls. I'm talking rice grains off the ground while they're just eating, and they have to ignore these kids, these foster kids who are dying, starving, just looking for grains of rice to pick up like they're a duck.
Dude, yeah, North Korea's messed up, man.
Yeah, did you? Speaking of North Korea, did you? This is sort of recent. It's not too relevant, but did you hear about that one guy who went to North Korea with a trip? I don't know if he was with a school, but it was American citizen.
Yeah,
he went to North Korea where there's no American jurisdiction. We can't do shit about it, basically.
Yeah, for real.
Some people say he had it coming. Some people say, whoa, this whole country is like sort of a bit of a dickhead. But this kid tried stealing a piece of propaganda, which is basically you're trying to steal from a certain country and bring it back to America. America, a country that they despise.
Yeah.
And they figure out that he's trying to steal it, smuggle it. And so what happens? They send him to a concentration camp for months. Our president's involved in this. If you look it up, he went to a labor camp, which is a concentration camp. And he was held until they felt like it was time for him to be released. He gets sent back to America, right? Like almost a year later or years later. I'm not even sure, but I know it was a long time.
Dude, yeah.
But guess what? He's in a coma, and then the guy dies.
Dude,
so is that linked up? What's up with that?
No, I do remember that, bro. That's some messed up shit. I think he had it coming, though, because why the hell are you gonna fuck with North Korea on your own? It's like maybe he thought he would get away with it, but that's retarded, honestly.
Maybe
like,
he saw the interview and he was like, "Damn, this is." Pretty
yeah, he was like, "Damn, James Franco."
He's like, James Franco almost killed the dictator. I could damn sure steal a sign. Like,
but dude, that was stupid as fuck for him to do that. Honestly, like I'm of course like. That's sad that he died, but that's stupid as fuck that he did that.
Who knows how he died? He was in a coma, but was he in a coma state status from the labor? Did he get sent over here in a coma?
Oh, bro.
I don't know.
Or
what's popping off in your head, bro? That was pretty intense.
Conspiracy, bro.
Let's hit it.
The U.S. government wants it to seem like North Korea killed this innocent person that just visited their country to find out more info.
I see where you're
So the U.S. government themselves made it look like he died from them, when in reality he was fine or something like that, and they actually induced that coma from him. And
so maybe the North Koreans there were like, hey, we'll give you your citizen back.
Yeah.
All you need to do is, well, maybe they weren't even involved. What if they started off like, hey, he's a prisoner.
Yeah.
Here is this prisoner.
As a sign of good fortune.
And then exactly. But then the U.S. twisted it. I see where you're coming up with these conspiracies because my brain's connecting too.
Okay.
What if? I mean, I'm not like saying I created this. Like, what if? I mean, I'm going off what you're saying. But what if the U.S. is like, yo, this one citizen who he can decease and pass away and everyone will forget about, but they won't forget about him because North Korea killed him. And so at the end of the day, who really gives a fuck about what we do to them, bomb them, nuke them, attack them?
Yeah.
Because they took our U.S. citizens from us.
Yeah, right. Honestly, the U.S. government's job is just to make them look as worse as possible so everyone will be for the whole war with North Korea.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much sketchy shit the government does that sort of... Is it real? Is it fake? Like, let's think of a couple examples.
No, bro.
What is?
No.
I mean, there's always the. Okay, back to 1969, first moon landing, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, I know this is a popular, like MythBusters did it. Joe Rogan talks about it with Eddie Bravo.
Yeah.
But I mean, the moon landing, it's a very hot topic because, listen. At the we talk about it, but America was in a race to the moon.
It's true, bro.
With Russia. Mm-hmm. Russia is America's top competition at the time. There is like, who's the best country? Who is going to do it first? I'm a cosmonaut. But then
I just gotta interrupt you for a second.
Say whatever you need.
They were called the Soviet Union at the time.
So who's a cosmonaut? Is that still Russia?
The Soviet Union turned into Russia.
Oh,
yeah.
See, that makes sense. But am I right?
No, yeah, you're right.
Am I right though?
You're right.
It's
but they weren't
race.
Russia yet. They weren't Russia yet.
Okay. So it's the Soviet Union. So it was a race to the moon. So then what happens? Well, America makes it. 1969, sometime in July. I'm pretty sure. I don't even know. But America walks on the moon. We win. Yeah. We plant our flag in the moon. This planet. Wait, the moon's not a planet. The moon is the moon.
Yeah, the moon.
There's multiple moons out there.
No, bro. My dad tells me how he remembers watching the moon landing live on TV,
which was probably a box TV with an antenna.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. But now getting back to it, geez, how many years later? Over 40 years later.
45, 47.
Over 40 years. It's like, who knows if that was real or not?
And it's still a question to this day because the U.S. government is going to always stick to their guns, say, no, what are you guys talking about? We landed on the moon, but who knows?
Yeah, because honestly, the U.S. government is always ahead in technology. Even now, we don't know if Area 51 holds aliens and they know all this alien technology. It's who knows if back in 1969 they had all of this technology which made it possible for them to fake that.
And so going back to MythBusters, I mentioned it earlier, they tried busting the moon landing. Yeah. And they recreated it using green screens and ropes and faking gravity and a whole bunch of moving parts, but they figured it out.
Yeah.
They figured out how to make it look as if they were on the moon. But talking 40 years ago, that technology, the green screen, chroma key, wasn't around back then.
Maybe it was, though.
But who exactly?
We just don't know because honestly, all of that type of thing was created for us through certain softwares like Premiere Pro, Final Cut, Vegas. That's all like plugged into that. But back then when those softwares weren't around, like you had to figure that shit on your own.
And who's to say, okay, now our talk is getting pretty controversial because
I know, right?
we're digging layers right here. We're figuring out our
dude.
culture. So North Korea, it's all about what? Brainwashing.
Yeah.
It's all about convincing the citizens that Kim Jong-un is the leader. He is their god. Not even a leader.
Dude,
He's a god.
Everyone thinks that lives there that he's a god.
I've seen I do remember this from the documentary.
Yeah.
These people, they were singing and dancing and acting happy and
Dude,
bowing and
yeah.
doing parades.
They think he can't die. He doesn't poop, bro.
Yeah, that's what the interview said.
They think he can't poop.
Is that real? I believe it. I believe they are that crazy. But when they look at us, why do they hate us? Well, we're not from North Korea,
Dude,
and they're not from the U.S. But who's to say that our government, our Kim Jong-un, is not feeding us false information, saying that the moon landing is real, and we're like, what are you guys talking about? Neil Armstrong, or unless that's a biker, what the hell? I don't even know my shit.
Lance Armstrong.
Wait, that's the biker.
Is that the biker? No, that is the biker.
You're confusing
That
me
is
now.
the biker, yeah. Neil Armstrong is the astronaut.
Okay, so Neil's walking on the moon, but in reality, he's in Hollywood just jumping around on bungee cables.
Dude, I get exactly what you're saying because, like, who knows if that was real or fake? So who knows the information that the U.S. government is feeding us about North Korea is real or fake either? Because in North Korea, they believe one thing totally opposite of us just because of the info that they're getting feeded.
See, that makes sense because we are being fed information.
Yeah.
What's a couple other things like what's
About North Korea?
I mean, I'm talking not even North Korea. I'm talking
Just
about
in
our
general.
government. I'm talking about what
Bro.
possible things have 9/11.
9/11.
I mean, these topics are so broad. Like, of course, there's 1,000 opinions.
There's
on
a shit
everything.
ton about Area 51, the whole like
See,
weather balloons.
I'm gonna stop you there.
Okay.
Area 51. What do we know?
Oh,
We
bro.
know that it is an Air Force base that you need once you enter Area 51.
We know it's supposedly an Air Force base.
That's what they claim Area 51 is in New
Yeah.
Mexico. You've been to New Mexico, I haven't.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, have you been to Area 51?
I drove
Or
by
near it?
I what is that town?
I don't know. I don't care about New Mexico.
Jesus Christ.
Unless you watch the show from New Mexico, I care about you. But other than that, I don't care about the state.
I drove through and stayed in the town in New Mexico where there's supposedly like alien sightings, like Ninfa-lite. Or wait, no, that's I don't fucking remember what the town is called, but we stayed there and we didn't really see anything, honestly.
Yeah. Did you see like a bunch of bright stars?
I mean, not really, because it is a town, so there's a lot of lights, there's a lot of light pollution. We didn't really see anything out of the norm, I guess you
Okay.
could say.
But so let's go back to the military aspect of New Mexico, right? So
Okay.
apparently there's this huge base, and this is just fact. Area 51,
Yeah.
it's a huge Air Force base, and this is what our government is telling us.
Uh-huh.
It's an Air Force base. You don't need to know about it unless you're in the military. It's very, not confirmed, classified.
Private.
Yeah, classified.
Oh, Roswell is where I went to.
okay.
Roswell,
So you were
New Mexico.
in the mix. You were there, Roswell.
Dude, right next to Area 51.
Okay, so the fun thing about Roswell is people think, oh, I could just sort of drive into Area 51 and see the aliens. No. Once you enter the gates into this area,
Yeah.
you need to drive 60 miles one way, and then hopefully you can get to somewhere in the middle of the desert to where they're holding this Air Force base. What do they hold there? That's the ultimate, that's the $1 million question, baby. That is aliens, different types of aircraft. Yo, lots of different, like...
Bro, honestly, when you think deeper into it too, it could just be like a publicity stunt to to like make more money. Because
That's true.
in Roswell, literally almost every hotel is based upon the whole alien theme, everything like
That's
that.
what they're known for.
Yeah, exactly. Even the hotel that Kayla and I stayed at, they had like aliens coming out of the walls in the hotel. Like there was a flying saucer right outside of it.
Yeah,
like a statue,
I remember seeing your Snapchat at your boy Nice Ben
Hell yeah.
with a filter. it was just a bunch of UFOs and like some lights coming down from your Snapchat filter.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, that this social network is embracing the whole entire alien aspect of New Mexico, it's obviously got some hype to it. I remember as a kid reading the Guinness Book of World Records that they would show these pictures of these aliens, and I'm doing air quotes when I say that. These aliens are laying down on these beds. They're scientists, black and white photos, lab coats. They're studying these creatures. And apparently that's where they hold these different life beings.
Yeah.
And apparently there's also, it goes deeper than that. It's not just the life beings. There's equations to reverse gravity and to make your aircrafts invisible. And there is everything that has to do about aliens in New Mexico. Area 51. And you got to be a special type of guy to be able to get in that place.
No, yeah, honestly, but so far, like, all we know is that it is a special place, but we don't know what's inside
No
there.
one knows. I mean, I
Yeah.
guarantee you if you ask 100 people, no one has been to Area 51.
No, definitely not, because, like, so far, like, all we know is that, like, it is a special place. There's so much going on there, supposedly, so who knows if that's all a publicity stunt for money, because that brings us all back to, like, government conspiracy, like, cancer, for instance.
Okay.
That's
How
a pretty-
there's not a cure?
Yeah, that's a pretty dark subject. Like,
Oh, yeah.
sure, there's not a cure, supposedly, but then you look at the treatment side of it, it's a billion-dollar industry.
Oh, it's a multi-billion. The
If
whole
the-
entire
Yeah.
federal medicine FDA, they would be rocked if their whole entire thing was like, oh, you have this problem, I can milk you for $100,000, or I can give you some vitamins and you'll be on your merry way.
Oh, yeah, dude, if there was a cure, they would lose so much money. And nowadays, literally everything is based around money.
It's not an option to lose money when you're in that industry. And that goes for, I mean, back to medicine. It goes for cars not using gasoline because that's a $1 trillion industry. I read this post. It's all conspiracy. I guess today's about conspiracies, bro. I
Yeah,
guess we
for
went
real.
there. But I read this post back in the day that there was this scientist who figured out how to make a car run on water.
Oh, I remember that, actually.
And then that scientist, he figured, and this was back in the 1930s, he figured out how to use salt water to run this car, but then he died from unsuspected medical conditions, or
Dude, that's so
it's
crazy.
back to the government just sort of trying to lay this blanket over the truth. And there's so much truth that is false, that to where it's sort of like crying wolf, and you don't understand what is true and what is being told to you to keep it calm, keep the situation cool.
Yeah, I remember, honestly, like, in school or something like that, they talked about this guy that created some type of flying aircraft that was controlled by a remote back in, like, the 1960s.
Really?
This was a long-ass time ago. I don't know if it was exactly 1960s. I might be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that.
But there's some sort of flying
back in the
vehicle.
1900s, like, some guy created that, and it was immediately apprehended by the U.S. government.
Dude, that was a sick word.
Immediately. And now, here in 2017, you know, drones are a huge part of our lives. Like,
And
all
it's not
types.
it's not unrealistic
Yeah.
technology.
No, yeah, but back in the day, that was so crazy.
It's
like,
scary.
They couldn't.
It's like,
they
what
couldn't.
can you do with that?
Yeah, they couldn't imagine that that was actually a thing, so they apprehended it. They took it away from him, and he never got the chance to even discover the potential, like, the ultimate purpose of that thing, you know?
Yo, I was watching this YouTube video with my father a couple years ago. And it was and I don't know if this video's true. I don't know if this is some just old delusional guy.
Don't quote him on this.
Yo, don't quote me right now. Don't come for me, guys. But let me tell you, I was watching this video. The man was obviously in his 60s, 70s. He wasn't looking too hot. Wrinkles. He was on his deathbed.
Yeah.
But my father showed me this video saying that, hey, this is a retired U.S. general who has met with Eisenhower and who has gone to Area 51 and who has been shown this classified information. He's laying on his deathbed, and all he wants, his only regret, is not showing the truth.
Oh.
And so there's someone recording him, and he's just laying it out there. And then so it's for the world to see, but it's so easily interpreted that to where it's false. It's almost like this guy's just crazy.
What was he talking about?
He was talking about how he met with President Eisenhower back in the day, and then he took him to this base. He showed him the whole entire Area 51 because when Eisenhower was in office, that's when Area 51 was getting those UFOs and they were getting those alien black and white pictures. And this is where all the conspiracy started about what is the government hiding.
Dang,
this guy is a messenger, basically. And so Eisenhower, he takes him and he's like, hey, this is what I have. I need you to return to the office and take this information with you. But it is classified. You can't tell a single soul other than who needs to. It's a need-to-know basis.
It's literally like, you will die. We will kill you.
And that's
if
the
you
crazy.
Tell anybody.
And I honestly believe with 100% that if you do something to upset our government, they will kill you.
No, definitely, bro. What's stopping them?
I mean, there's 7 billion people in the world. What is one person
literally
who's going to screw up everyone's situation?
Yeah, they make the law saying we can't kill another person. So, of course, they're going to distort that and use it against their will, you know?
Yeah, so basically, it's just this old guy. He's just talking about all the experiences he's had, he's seen, he's talked to presidents, he's a general, and he's dying, and his last regret is, I need to let the world know. I saw it. Did I see something that a lot of people didn't see, and it's the truth, and I know a little bit more? Or did I just see some old dude faking he's about to die and talking about how he's a crazy general and how he saw UFOs and he saw equations to reverse gravity and put these metal aircrafts in the sky and turn them invisible? It sounds crazy, so I don't know what to believe. But all I know is it's an option.
As soon as you saw those videos, what did you believe though?
Oh, at the moment, I definitely believed the guy.
You were like, holy crap.
I could read the guy's face. I could tell that this man was sincere. He's truly been through these like what's the word I'm looking for? He's been through those experiences.
Oh, okay.
You could just sort of tell it on his face, and he was laying in a hospital bed, and it was sort of viral back in the day. But now the internet is such free use. There's so many people coming in and always trying to say there's like, how many UFO sightings are there a year?
Honestly, besides that though, like, there's probably a lot, but even thinking of that video, that could have been a publicity stunt in its own.
It could have been. It could have been the government feeding us lies.
Yeah, like, we don't know.
To sort of confuse us.
We don't know if he was actually dying. Like, he might have just been a really good actor, you know?
That's what, exactly. There's no proof behind anything.
Like, you didn't watch his next day, like, the day after that. You don't know when he actually died or what he was even diagnosed with, you know?
So, I understand that a lot of people, and I'm talking a lot of people, and it's coming from over the last 100 years, if not more. Who knows? The internet's fairly new. It just came around within the last 150 years. So these experiences have never stopped. People have never stopped seeing things floating in the sky. People have never stopped seeing these extraterrestrial beings. Have you ever had an experience? I understand you went to Roswell and you didn't see anything, but have you ever had anything that's made you sort of a skeptic to believing that there's more to life other than what we've been fed?
Honestly, I know there's a lot of conspiracy around the whole alien subject, anything like that, but I do believe there's, like, other dimensions where other beings live, because even, Winston, you know, like, we've messed with Ouija boards in our past.
Ooh, dude, good topic, bro.
A lot of Ouija board stuff. Yeah.
Let's get there, dude. This isn't even funny. I'm sorry if you guys are looking to laugh, but hey, guess what? You guys are getting some truth about our personal life.
No, yeah, like...
So let's tell them a little bit of a story. So, all right, guys, to give you a little breakdown, since we have time on this podcast, let's tell you a little story.
Okay.
So, Ben and I, we met in 7th grade, and, man, this is crazy how we actually have, I'm sorry.
Was it 7th or 6th grade?
I don't think it was 6th grade. I moved from Colorado to Texas in the 7th grade.
Okay.
That was when I started my school year. It might have been 6th grade summer, but I started 7th grade fresh
and then that's
at Eisenhower.
Okay.
And the ironic thing is we went to Eisenhower Middle School.
Well, yeah, dude, I was honestly thinking about that when you were talking about that. I was like, dang, that's such a coincidence that we went to that school. No, but he was the
president that started up the whole entire controversial alien thing.
And then we went to his school.
We went to Eisenhower Middle School.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Holy cow. But anyway, so went to Eisenhower. Ben and I think the first class we ever had, I might be wrong, Spanish, 7th grade.
Yeah,
Miss Montes de Oca.
Spanish class.
Were we friends?
We were definitely in the same group. Me, you, and what was that guy's name?
Deshaun?
Deshaun, bro. We were like the fuck ups of class. Like
Bro,
we would fuck around so hard.
I'm not trying to get off topic here. I'm going to stay on this topic of Ouija board. I'm going to remember it because we're going to get there. But dude, there's a reason I graduated high school with my my language and sign language, because
not Spanish.
Spanish, I tried it out freshman year of high school. I failed that class with a 15. 7th grade, I got kicked out almost every single day because all I was doing was making jokes, disturbing the class. The teacher hated me. So I spent more time in the office than I did in class.
You were definitely the joker of the Spanish class.
Hey, bro, but look where it landed us now, right?
Yeah, but me and Deshaun, like, we would lead you on. Like, we didn't give a fuck
you guys
either.
hyped me, bro.
We hyped you up hard.
Yo, do you remember that one time it was raining outside. We were walking to gym because not only did we have 7th grade Spanish together, the next period we all were going to the same PE class.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
And so it was raining outside and there was this gap, okay?
Okay.
It was filled with dirt. It was raining that day, so it turned to mud.
Oh, yeah.
It turned to mud. I was like, yo, and I don't know. I was just in the mood to joke around. I've always been the class clown. So I've always, I don't know. It's just my thing to be funny. So I was like, yo, guys, I'm going to gap this. I don't remember what I said, but in my head, that's what I meant is.
You were like, I'm going to jump over
this mud pit and show you guys my athleticism, show you guys my risk value. I don't care. And so what happens? I go for it. I jump. I land. I almost had the momentum to carry me forward, but not quite. I fall backwards into a pile of mud.
No.
I'm only halfway through the school day. And so I am covered in mud, and I have no other choice but just to laugh it off. I mean, that was the lesson I learned. I will remember that day forever. But anyway, I'm getting off traffic here. That's just a little childhood story. So we started off being friends in middle school. Transitioned to high school. We weren't the best friends, but we were still familiar. Ben, actually, my sophomore year, got me a job at Domino's Pizza. Domino's life. Ben, he was a general manager. Yeah. Me, I made it my way up to shift leader before I left the company. So we were sort of high ranked at Domino's for how young we were. We were kids running the store.
Yeah, and guys, honestly, if you knew how it was at Domino's, like, we didn't give a fuck. Like, we were so high ranked, and we knew what we were doing that, like, we would drink whenever we wanted to. Like, we would smoke
we were 18 years old. We were getting, like, drunk as shit before work. There was no adults there. The oldest person we had was 17 years old. Like, if there was a customer that didn't like their food, they would have to talk to us.
Yeah, literally, we were closing the store that night. If someone had a problem, they would talk to one of us. And we're fucking immature as shit, like, running a corporate company. Just 17, 18 years old, not giving a fuck.
So if you guys are looking for some job opportunities, try out with Domino's. There's a chance that you'll make it pretty far in the company.
Yeah, right.
But anyway. So, hey, but Domino's, what did that lead to? We started off both as just pizza makers.
Yeah.
And we're like, yo, we're about to graduate high school. We're such good friends. Let's just get our own apartment together.
It's true, bro.
We were just like, you know what? We both live the same schedule. We do the same exact career occupation. Might as well just have fun, do our thing. We'll keep working, but we'll also have our own apartment, get out of our parents' house. This is fresh. Like, I just turned 18, legal to move out of the house. Ben, he was the same age. We just graduated high school. And what happens when you have your first apartment?
Bro, literally, we do whatever the hell we want.
It's crazy. I don't think anyone should ever get their own apartment at such a young age because, let me tell you, you know what? I take that back. I believe that if you're 18 and you feel like you're ready, like we were, you should do it. Even though looking back onto it, it was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake because we learned so many lessons.
Yeah, like, sure, it got pretty crazy, but that's a story for another time. But, like, we learned so much throughout it.
See, that's very true. All right, guys. I know we've been stretching on this conversation for a while. Let's get to the juicy stuff, all right? You guys want to hear about our ghost experience?
Yeah, so while we were living in this apartment, for some reason we started fucking around with Ouija boards.
Why is that? What happened? I remember.
Okay.
Loud Flicks are old.
Oh, yeah,
You guys can still search up the channel, Loud Flicks, Flikz. You guys can see some old vintage skits that your boy Nice Ben, your boy Winston Krintz were a part of. with a couple other friends. We bought a Ouija board from Toys R Us, believe it or not. Toys R Us, where they sell children toys. We bought this Ouija board. It's a joke, right? We make a video with it. The video does really well. We don't need that Ouija board anymore. So who takes it?
We still keep it.
We're like,
still
yo,
have
this is our thing.
Yeah.
And then one night, I remember we were hanging out with our friend.
Okay.
And it was like around, I think it was some spooky night. It was like a Night of the Dead or Halloween. But we decided that it would be fun to sit without knowing if it actually was true or not.
Yeah.
Messing with Ouija boards. We decided we were going to sit in the middle of our living room, play with this Ouija board for at least 30 minutes and just see what happens.
No, yeah, because, like, honestly, before all that, I remember when I was dating Maddie, one of my ex-girlfriends, she and some of her friends would always mess with Ouija boards. I was never a part of any of that, but they would mess with them, and I would always look on to what they were doing and see that it was actually working. So now that we had this Ouija board in our grasp around us, we were like, might as well try it out.
And I must admit it, in the beginning, when we were playing with it, nothing. And I swear, for 25 minutes, I'm pretty sure it was that, because I remember this like it was yesterday, because it sort of changed my life forever. I mean, I honestly was talking about this experience with a coworker a couple days ago about Ouija boards and haunted, spooky stuff, but it wasn't working. And I was like, yo, this is stupid. And we were all sort of taking it as a joke, laughing, sort of mocking the presence that was among the board.
Yeah.
And we were like, yo, let's just give up. And we've been here for 25 minutes. And then so we sort of took a break. But then what do? We go to your room. I remember we went to your room because it was more dark in there.
My room, yeah.
So the time is around 1 a.m. at this point. We're like, yo, let's do this until we get it.
Yeah.
And guys, I know Ben he's going to take over here. I know it. Ghosts love Ben.
Dude,
okay?
Yeah. For some reason, like, they would only speak to us when I was leading the questions.
That's strange, dude.
Yeah. Honestly, even today, like, I have a certain kind of grasp with the dark spirits type then. But back then is
You're almost like a communicator.
Yeah.
You're almost like that, like the ghost whisperer.
Yeah, because, like, even to this day, like, I see weird shit, like, out of the peripherals of my vision, you know, and I, like, look real quick, nothing's there type shit. And, like, I'll dream really weird, but it all started from those nights fucking with Ouija boards.
Oh, dude. So let's get into the good stuff. So we're in Ben's room.
Yeah.
We're doing everything you need to do. Say, hello,
supposedly
spirits.
you're supposed to say prayers before.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're communicating with you. In no way can you contact us after this. In no way can you follow us. That type of thing.
And
like,
we're circling the planchetta, which is the little device.
Yeah.
We're rubbing it in circles how we're supposed to. We've done our research. We're taking it serious. At this point, all we want, it's not a joke anymore. All we want is for it to work.
Yeah.
So we're sitting. We're with a group of friends. Our hands are all touching. I'm getting chills talking about this.
Yeah, right.
But and then out of nowhere we say, I'm pretty sure Ben said it because he's the ghost whisperer. But he says, are there any spirits here with us?
Yeah.
And then we're all 2 fingers each, 4 fingers if you count both your hands, on top of this little chip. And then it goes slowly, very slowly, like almost someone's moving it, to yes.
Honestly, as soon as it starts moving, your heart rate goes up high.
It's like, yo, are you moving this? Are you moving this?
Yeah, right.
Are you doing this? No, bro, I'm not doing it.
But
are
nobody's
you sure?
moving it. Yeah, we lightly have our fingers on the chip. Everyone's calm, and then as soon as it starts moving is when we all start kind of like freaking out a little bit because like, what the hell is going on?
No, yeah, it's unexplainable.
Like, nobody is moving this thing.
And then it turns into, okay, this thing is moving on its own. Let's start asking it questions.
Yeah.
And at this point, we have at least 2 friends who are there not believing us. They're like, yo, you guys are moving this. And we're like, bro, I swear to God. And we are religious in a way. We're like, bro, I swear to God, we are not moving this planchette.
Yeah, we weren't.
And then so one friend, I remember, he starts tearing up. And his heart starts racing so much, he starts crying that this entity is sort of taking over the board.
Why do you think he started tearing up? Because it was so overwhelming?
It's literally, unless you guys have dealt with the Ouija board, it's something that's unexplainable. You never you go throughout your whole entire life realizing that, okay, I understand ghosts are a thing. Like, they've been traced back forever. Yeah. There's always every 1 out of 5 people have a ghost story.
You have that thought of okay, there might be a ghost around.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, I understand people can die and their spirit can live on, but I personally have not experienced anything, so it doesn't exist to me. But it's a different scenario when you are literally confronting the spirit and the spirit is communicating back.
Yeah, dude. Honestly,
it's a trippy feeling.
That's such a crazy feeling. And not to get you wrong, though, like, the spirits on Ouija boards, none of them are usually friendly. They're all super dark. That's why they're able to communicate with you, because they're not in a happy place anymore. They're very unsatisfied with their lives, which is why it's so dangerous to mess with Ouija boards.
Yeah, I've read a lot of things saying that never, ever play with a Ouija board, because there is no such thing as a good spirit talking back to you. It's always going to try to trick you, manipulate you, to do things to, I don't know, some people say take over your body, take over your spirit, or just try to release themselves through the board as some sort of passageway.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, who really knows?
Yeah.
But all we know is that we have stories. Do you have anyone that, like, sticks with you that maybe... Here, I'll start.
I have one, yeah.
Oh, here, I'll let you start.
Okay. One night, honestly, in the apartment, we would mess with the Ouija board a lot because it kept working for us. So we would do it almost, like, sometimes every night, and then whenever there's someone who doesn't believe it, we would do it as well. So it became a regular thing.
And that is so bad thinking back on it.
Yeah, it's so bad.
We became almost addicted. There was some sort of adrenaline rush that came with messing with spirits to where we couldn't stop.
Yeah, but I remember there was one that stuck with me to where we started doing it, and we talked to this lady. I don't remember her name, but she was talking to us, and we asked her, like, if she's bad. And she said she was. Okay, and so we were like, okay, what the hell? And then we asked, like, what she did, and she started out, like, saying kill. Like, she killed somebody.
Ooh.
And then we asked, like, who she killed, and then she eventually came to the conclusion that she killed her child. She killed...
By drowning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that. I remember. Oh, dude, I just got some chills.
Yeah, you remember that? So, like, we were talking to this... Yeah, we were... Sorry,
I was just going to say, it was like, the spirits we talked to, they never were, they wouldn't spell out what they did. We had to say, did you shoot someone? No.
Yeah.
Did you, did you hit them with the car? No. Did you drown them? Yes.
Because, on a Ouija board, the spirits who have more energy based upon them is what can answer more. But supposedly this spirit didn't have as much energy, so it couldn't answer very long questions. So we were talking to the spirit for like a while, just all kinds of questions, like who did you kill, like how did you kill them? And we eventually got to the conclusion that she killed her own child by drowning. And then shortly after, she was so sad with her life from doing that she killed herself.
How, dude... See, you can't make that kind of stuff up, dude.
It's like, how would any one of us come up with that and make sure they were moving the right directions without anybody noticing?
Yeah, it's not like I was like, yo, guys, I want to convince Ben that he's talking to a spirit that killed her child by drowning her. It's so like, specific. What? It's like, that doesn't happen. And in those scenarios, chills. And you can literally feel something on top of you. It's weird. It's like... There's this energy blanket of sort of negativity.
Yeah.
And it basically, it's just no good. I suggest for no one to really play with it. I mean, it definitely opens your mind a lot. But is it worth sort of bringing this negative energy into any living situation? Our apartment after doing that for a couple weeks, Ben, your bathroom started locking itself.
No, yeah. Honestly, weird things started happening. Like, even though we said the prayers, even though we said that they couldn't follow us into our real lives, things started going weird. Not necessarily anything that would harm us, but definitely things out of the norm.
Sort of trying to, like, catch our attention and say, hey, I'm here.
No, yeah. I don't know if that was a bad thing or a good thing, but weird things definitely started happening. Like, randomly in my room, my bathroom would lock from the inside.
And it was one of those twist locks to where you needed to be on the inside.
Yeah.
Twist it 90 degrees, and then you're locked.
Yeah.
His bathroom, he literally had to kick it in because someone locked it from the inside, which is impossible.
Yeah, you literally can't do it unless the door is closed. So there's no way I could have like locked it on my way out or anything like that. It definitely locked while the door was closed.
And some people might say it's like, oh, when you shut the door, the lock might have twisted and then it locked itself. It's like, no, honestly, you need to be in our apartment. You need to feel what we felt to know that there's something greater out there that's doing these things.
That was one of our biggest mistakes there, is that we messed with such dark energies to where things started feeling weird.
Yeah, we never took it seriously, honestly.
Like, things definitely weren't the same after that. No matter what, in our own home, there were some dark spirits.
Do you remember that one time when we were talking to this super, and it would be sometimes weird because back to the demon sort of, and apparently if you play with the Ouija board, you would only contact demons.
Yeah, or bad spirits.
Or bad spirits, yeah. Do you remember that one time we were talking to this little child who was like 3 years old, and then the board out of nowhere, our hands were on it and started going crazy, and then it was like 3 years old, and then it just went from like zipping across from A to Z, and then it went to goodbye.
No, yeah, I do remember that,
and
because
it was pulling our arms. We weren't even moving. It was like we had to sort of put in energy to follow it.
Who knows if that's what released them, you know? Because a lot of the times spirits will like show us that they are something else when they aren't really that, you know?
Yeah, sort of like put on this sort of personality to sort of gain your trust to get into your life.
So maybe this super bad spirit was showing us that, oh, it's only an innocent 3-year-old.
It's like, oh, a 3-year-old. What's the worst that can happen with a 3-year-old? Honestly, that the way that planchette was moving across that board, zigzagging, doing patterns, and then the final move from us not saying anything to it was goodbye.
No, yeah, there's a lot of ways.
That's so weird.
There's a lot of ways that spirits can escape the Ouija board.
And everyone's heard of Zozo, right?
Zozo, yeah, but even
we came across Zozo. We weren't looking, but it started going Z-O, 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 and we're like, oh, that's bad.
Maybe, okay, here's another thought though. Maybe like Zozo, that could be a really dark spirit, you know? But if it was so dark, it would have already escaped, you know? Mm-hmm. So what if the methods that supposedly Zozo uses are just dark spirits' ways of escaping the Ouija board?
That's true.
It's like, what if every time this happens, it's just a different spirit trying to escape? Because they all know that if you go all the way down the alphabet, you could escape. If you go all the way from 0 all the way down to like 10, it'll escape, you know? Even for our experience, if you go crazy in like a star shape and then goodbye, it can escape, you know?
Yeah, no, there was. That's the one thing. It's like they sell these devices at Toys R Us, but no one really knows the capability of it until you actually put your hands on it.
Yeah, and like, literally, I would want to say, like, who knows if it's real or fake, but there's no way it's fake.
I've seen videos to where they're like, it's your subconscious wanting to see an answer so bad to where your mind will move it and you won't even know, and they put some scientific word behind it. But it's like, no, that's not it.
That doesn't make sense at all. That goes all the way back to like the government conspiracy of like trying to find an answer.
Why are you trying to deny it? It's like, obviously there's millions of people that have interacted with this sort of game, and it's not fake. And they want to put some scientific word behind it. It's like, it's a placebo effect. It's like, you are just convincing yourself that you're talking to someone so you'll answer yourself. And I don't know. You can get scientific on it, but at the end of the day, fuck that. We know what we saw. We're out here. We're in the garage, baby.
Yeah. Do you think that, like, one of those experiences, or those experiences in a whole, kind of shaped us to who we are today?
I think it definitely let us understand that there are different energies out there.
Yeah, right?
To show us that, I mean, we might have not come across a good energy, because I don't really have any ones I'm like, I really like that spirit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely, for 100%, we're talking to something greater than the human reality of this is our life and this is the only life we will ever have.
No, definitely, because when you experience something like that where like you're talking to a different spirit, someone that's beyond our world, you get to realize that like sure, this is our dimension, we're seeing physical things, but that's not the only thing around us.
Have you ever had like a real, other than a Ouija board, other than setting up a ghost encounter, have you ever had anything that sort of like freaked you out? I could sort of hint onto it if you can't think of anything, that flash experience.
I don't.
Would you convince that as like a ghost experience, or do you think that was like sleep
Dude.
deprivation playing tricks on you?
No, yeah, I get what you're saying, but like that goes back to like how they would only talk to me too. Like for some reason they're really attracted to me, you know, like for some reason, I don't know. And what he's talking about is that one night, like randomly when I was editing a video for Grandma's Garage or whatever, I was just on my phone, you know, and out of nowhere I see a bright flash out of the corner of my eye, and I wasn't really that tired or anything. Like I was just chilling on my phone.
Do you know what time it was?
I bet it was kind of late, probably like around midnight, but not like.
So it wasn't like 3 in the morning.
No, yeah, it wasn't super late, and I wasn't that tired. Like I know my body's tiredness state, you know, but like I was pretty sober. I was in control of what I was doing. I was just on my phone, you know, chilling.
Yeah.
And the video I was uploading was exporting, and it takes a little while, so I just kind of chilled during that time. And out of nowhere, out of the corner of my eye, I see a bright flash. Just like a flash of light.
Almost like a camera.
Yeah, like someone was taking a picture of me. And I was like, what the hell? And so I like look over there, you know, and like, I don't know what was going on, but it was a pretty crazy thing. And
what was your first because I mean, it's easy to think back on it and be like, yes, it was weird, but I mean, when you're alone in your dark room and it's midnight and you're editing a video in this quiet room and you're by yourself, no interaction, and you see this flash, what is your heart racing? Is your like sweat starting to come out your forehead? Like what is going on in your head?
Honestly, because of how experienced we are with like other entities, things like that, to be honest, when I saw that flash, like I went over to my computer because that's where I saw the flash from, and nothing was like out of the norm or anything like that, so I literally called out to like show yourself, you know.
Oh, did you actually say something out loud?
Yeah, I was
Whoa,
like
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I was like, show yourself, because I thought something was watching me,
felt
you know?
it? Did you feel like something was watching you?
No, yeah, as soon as I saw that flash, like I felt something different, like not normal at all, and it was pulling me towards my computer, you know. That's why I went over there. And nothing was really out of the norm. Maybe something I just didn't realize was there, but...
Yeah, I mean, a million people would tell you, oh, it was your computer, just like a pixel on the computer giving out and coming back in.
Yeah,
it's like, there's always an explanation.
Yeah, maybe I just didn't realize something was there, but it made me want to, like, say, like, show yourself, because I wanted to see. And honestly, like, last year, like, our good friend Phil passed away from cancer, and so... a lot of the times when things like that happen, I always think it's Phil because of like how close we were to like entertainment, to making videos, stuff like that. And so I always say, like, if you're there, like, show yourself, like, show me that you are there so we can like, I can like prove it, you know, to myself at least.
Right.
But even saying that, like, nothing else happened.
Like, you're never really seeking outside approval. You're just sort of trying to find closure for yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm not trying to like prove that something else is there.
It's like, hey guys, look over here. Like, there's a ghost over here.
Yeah, like call up CNN. Like, yeah, I had a ghost experience type shit. You know, like I'm not trying to seek any entertainment. It's just like for your own self, you want to know that you have that type of closure. You know.
Now, when it comes to Ouija boards, they say that that is the gate to evil spirits.
Okay.
Now, but what about, say, like, a spirit... No, you're good. Okay, now you're bad. All right, but... So since Ouija boards are evil spirits, what about spirits that sort of try to show themselves in a flash, and you're not even attempting to reach out to anyone? Can you take that as good or evil? Because I've heard that good spirits go to heaven, and that... good spirits, they won't ever mess with you because they found their satisfaction, their peace, their happiness, their closure. But if a flash happens, do you think, like, and sometimes do you ever think that could have been a demonic presence sort of trying to pull you closer?
See, how I see it is that, like, I don't necessarily believe there's a heaven or a hell, because the spirit we talked to killed their own daughter, killed their self. It's like, shouldn't they be in hell? How are they communicating with us then, you know?
So that makes sense.
It's like, even good spirits, like, sure, they went to heaven, but then there's also probably good spirits you can talk to, not necessarily on a Ouija board, but maybe in your dreams or something like that, that aren't there. It's like, just because maybe you're in heaven or hell, does that prevent you from, like, communicating to our world?
See, that makes sense. No,
It's
I
like,
can tell you from other than Ouija board, I mean, that was my first proof. To me, it's proof that we talked to something higher powered, okay? Like something that wasn't there physically, but that was comprehending what we were saying in our English language and was responding to us and giving us feedback. That was the very first taste of proof I had. But my very first job when I was 13 years old, I worked at a restaurant called the Old San Francisco Steakhouse. It was built in the 60s, okay? It's not too old, but it's an older restaurant compared to like TGI Fridays, right?
Yeah.
And they were notorious for having entertainment value such as a piano player and a swing girl who swings across the stage, which is over the bar. There's cowbells on the ceiling. They hit the cowbells. The crowd claps. They're entertained while they're eating their steaks. And it's a fun time, right?
Yeah.
But little do people know, behind those doors of entertainment, I was there working as a 13-year-old kid with my dad running the restaurant. I would have to sit and wait for my father because I wasn't old enough to drive. I couldn't leave when I wanted to. He was my ride there and from work. Okay, so I would sit at the bar, right?
Yeah.
And just wait. I'd be on my phone. I had a phone at the time, so I'd just be hanging out, checking out my phone. And then I would see the swing, and it would just start to swing right above the stage. And some people might say, hey, air conditioning blew that, or hey.
Nobody on it?
No one on it, dude.
Whoa.
And that was just my experience. That was just like a little, maybe there's something more to this.
Yeah, it's like, that's kind of weird, but you didn't really think anything.
No, it was really strange. Like, I definitely believed in ghosts, but I never had any proof, and I don't even think that's proof right there. Like, and there's a million things that could have pushed that swing. You know, I might have hit the bar wrong, and it might have shot to the ceiling, and the ceiling might have shook, or... I mean, there's so many explanations, but I think it was a presence. But that's just my story. When you talk to all the other servers, including my father, here I'll give a couple stories. One time, my dad, he was waiting for one of the dishwashers to finish doing all the dishes. So, and like I was talking about the piano player, he would just sit up on the stage, and he's not scared of ghosts. He was very sure that there was some sort of presence haunting the restaurant.
Okay.
And what you can do, what he always said, is like, they're not here to hurt you.
Yeah.
They're just sort of hanging out. Like, they're just comfortable there. You just sort of got to be yourself. You can't pay any attention to it. And I was like, okay, Dad, whatever. He comes home with a story one night to where he's just hanging out, playing the piano. Ding, ding. And then the dishwasher walks out, and he goes... Like, and then he does a little finger twirl in the air, wearing a green hat. I remember this story like it was yesterday.
What?
Okay. My dad, he walks down the stage because there's stairs to get up there.
Okay.
Walks down, walks back to the dish pit. He's like, yo, you ready? And then the guy's like, what are you talking about, chef? He was the chef, like general manager. And he was like, what are you talking about, chef? And he's like, I still have a lot to do. And he's like, you didn't just come out there and whistle at me like you're done? He's like, no, chef. And then my dad's like, well, that's really weird. And that's just one story, okay? But I'm not done with the dish.
You were witnessing
No,
this?
I wasn't there.
Oh,
I got to vouch for my dad on this, but
okay.
he wouldn't tell me the story like to try to make me feel good. He was just telling his experience.
I have a story that we were both there.
Oh, really? Here, one sec.
Okay.
So there's one more.
Okay.
My dad, back to the dish pit. So that's that one night, right?
Okay.
A couple weeks later, he's in the dish pit. Because, I mean, I guess there's a lot of dishes. I don't know. I'm just a kid. I guess so he's helping out the dishwasher at this moment, right?
Yeah.
And the bartender's there. By the way, the bartender has vouched for this story 100%. Davey. I remember his name, too. He told me the exact same story. They're washing dishes. You know those little cup racks that sit on the ledge?
Yeah.
And then they're, like, heavy, right? They're at least, like, 7 pounds.
Those are definitely heavy.
They were, like, playing dishes to run through the dishwasher. Out of nowhere, one of those cup things slides like 10 feet across the ground. Like, it falls, of course. It falls. The cup rack dislodges itself from the rack and it slides like 10 feet across the restaurant. In the dish pit, like 10 feet across the dish.
Dude, that place is haunted as fuck.
And dude, no, it was, and that's just a couple stories.
It's haunted as hell, bro.
And, bro, and I'm when it's haunted, it's like, oh yeah, it's not even a question. Is it haunted? It's like I talked to every single server there back when I was working. Every single one of them had a story. Like the swing girl, she even heard her name. She's like, her name was Daisy, right?
Yeah.
She heard some man go, Daisy.
What
and
the
then
hell?
And then she was like, no one's here except me.
She's like, what?
Yeah. No, but it's really weird. I mean, it's a little, there's too many stories for it to be fake, in my opinion. And the only thing I ever experienced was starting to swing, just a little bit of emotion, like going back and forth.
So here's something you might remember as well.
Honestly, was I there for that?
You were here. We were in this garage.
Oh, shit.
I don't know. It might have been the night that our good friend Phil passed away.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
And
it was like 2 nights after.
A couple nights after. But we were pretty sad about all that, but we could feel his presence still around us. Maybe he hadn't passed away. No, he just passed away.
Yeah, it was it was super fresh.
Yeah. So he had just passed away, and so we could literally, like, we were just hanging out and stuff like that, talking about him and like how great his life was and stuff like that, and we could feel his presence around us. So I don't know if it probably was you, and you were like, Phil, like, if you're here, show us that you're here.
Did I say that because we felt something?
Yeah, we felt something around us. And literally, shortly after he said that, the lights flickered.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And as soon as that happened,
chills, bro.
Chills all over. We were like, holy crap, like, did that actually just happen?
Yeah, it was a little shocking because it was literally, we called out for it. We were looking for our good friend who just recently passed away fresh.
Definitely.
Because it was, like Ben was saying, it was some sort of mood to the room to where it's like, yo, there's someone else here right now.
There's a feeling you get.
It's a certain, like, there's a chill down your spine. There's a feeling. And we recognized it because we have experience with it.
Definitely.
We called out for it. The lights, it wasn't like, oh, the lights just happened to flicker. It was like a 2-time flicker, like, yeah, I'm here.
As soon as we said that, too.
It was super weird.
It's crazy. And that wasn't even the only time. Like, we were pretty shocked that happened. And then even after that, like, we kept talking about Phil and, like, kept talking about his presence and talking to him, you know?
And it kept on flickering a little bit.
Yeah, and it kept acknowledging that he was still there. Like, the lights would flicker a little here and there. We would even hear, like, certain noises eventually. Like, it was beyond strange. And as soon as we stopped talking, as soon as we, like, changed the subject completely, it stopped.
It's sort of like this energy was lifted.
Yeah, like, he had just passed away. He wanted to acknowledge that his comfort and awareness, even in the afterworld, was still there with us. He wanted to show us that that was still there, and then he moved on to something else.
Yeah, I mean, there's really, as a human on this earth, there is no explanation for really any paranormal activity going on.
Yeah, definitely
unless you're some sort of shrink or psychic, but I mean, people are gonna disprove those guys any day. But at the end of the day, all you have is your own opinion, your own self-belief, and consciousness. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly,
it's a weird subject, guys. I'm sorry we've talked the whole entire podcast about spiritual beings and if it wasn't so funny, but hey, hopefully you thought it was entertaining.
No, because, like, that's a serious topic, though. Like, of course, sure, maybe you haven't experienced anything like that, but you might one day, and wondering what that is, you can definitely think that maybe it was something of another world, of something other than a being right now, you know?
Yeah, and as a couple of guys who have experienced it, the only advice we can give you is don't fray from it. Don't be afraid, okay? Mm-hmm. You can't do that because I know the movies say, like, if you show it attention, it only gets worse, but I really do believe, like, when you show negative energy, attention, it's just going to eat at you even more. You need to sort of, I mean, going back to the restaurant, everyone worked there sort of accepted the fact, including my father, who was like accepting that there are different energies, and
definitely,
you sort of just get used to it. I mean, it's not something to be scared of, but just know we are not the only ones out there.
Yeah, like there's so many. Honestly, it goes up to like 10 dimensions. 10 dimensions of space that we can't even comprehend. So of course there are going to be other beings and conscious beings out there. So instead of wondering what that is that just flickered your light or that just paused your TV out of nowhere, just embrace it. Know that there is something out there, but don't keep your mind on it. Just move on.
Exactly. And on that note, guys, I think that's pretty much a podcast right there. That's episode number 4, baby. That was pretty good, Ben. What do you think?
Yeah, dude, that was good, honestly. I hope you're a little, at least, open-minded about this whole situation as we are.
And guys, if you like these types of talks, leave a like, leave a comment. We would love to keep getting deep with you guys. We just need to see some feedback. If you guys are new to this channel, please go check out Grandma's Garage, Grandma's Garbage, okay?
Yeah.
We got a couple different channels. We'll link them down below. But guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for being a part of the conversation.
And guys, if you liked this video, make sure to subscribe. Leave a like, and like Winston said, leave a comment down below if you are listening to this right now.
We're the Graham fam, baby. We gotta stick together.
Hell yeah. And you know why?
Because it makes Graham happy.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you guys for episode 5.